Usher has finally come clean about something that's causing a major stir. According to singer Jaguar Wright, Usher didn't just mentor Justin Bieber, he actually handed him over to Diddy for 2 full days. Wright claims that Diddy had been trying to get close to Bieber for months, but was repeatedly blocked by the young star's management team. That's when Usher allegedly stepped in, took legal custody of Bieber, and then temporarily transferred guardianship to Diddy for 48 hours. Let that sink in. Wright even references a hospital visit, hinting at earlier grooming allegations brought against Diddy by his former bodyguard, Gene. Despite all that, Usher still sent Bieber into Diddy's care. Wright emphasizes that Diddy's persistent efforts to access a minor already looked suspicious, and Usher, who had promised to protect Justin, handed him over anyway. Does that sound like the actions of someone trustworthy? Maybe that's why Usher is finally feeling guilty and ready to tell the truth.
Somebody would come out and just sue him. We need Usher. No, we do. We need a victim to come out and be honest about him. Because what I'm realizing is that he's going to fake the funk into the victim, man. He's just going to keep on sucking the devil's. And I don't know, with a baby, that pacifier, sometimes you got to pull it out. You know what I'm saying? And take it away. Right? When the baby's used to sucking on the pacifier. That motherfucker gonna keep sucking on it until you do what? Till you take it out the mouth. Now it's gonna scream and holler, but eventually it will get used to the fact that his mouth is no longer full with that object. And that it's time to just, learn how to live without it. He's been sucking on Diddy's dick a long time.
I'm asking, because I know the topic is sensitive. What happened to Usher?
I heard about some music executive from the industry back in Harlem. I heard it from some music executives back in Harlem. And I'm not going to speak on their name. They doing programs and everything like that. And they may be doing something. They may speak on it themselves. But I heard it from some music executives.
What did you hear?
Bro, you know how people be talking and we was around some people, something like that. And then some people might say, yo, I don't F with that dude. And at the time, I didn't even know who the F Usher was. You know what I'm saying? It was one of those type of situations. And when somebody say, yo, man, I don't F with them niggas. Man, I'm getting out that industry and everything like that. Puff sent this little kid to the hospital. How he sent him to the hospital? Man, nigga was bleeding from the butt. And that's what was said. But I didn't even have a name for the kid at the time. Then you heard, and that's what happened.
People look at Usher, they don't see that. They're not seeing the victim. They're not seeing that boy that got rushed to the hospital. They're not seeing what the intentions was in his heart when he took Justin Bieber there.
Oh.
Let's be honest. He took Justin Bieber there. Diddy had been trying to get to Bieber for a minute. And his management was backing him off. But it wasn't until Usher took over management and had guardianship and gave temporary guardianship to the diddler for 48 hours. Think about that. He had already been to the hospital. That situation that Gene was talking about. And you still took Bieber there. But you got custody of him first.
Yeah.
Diddy had already tried.
I know, and people know, that was around that in that time that Puff and Usher did have a situation. And that situation led Usher to the hospital. Now I let Usher explain that to y'all. I let Usher tell that story. But how dare you say a man that groomed you, you gonna give him a pass?
Actually, someone made reference to the fact that Diddy trying to get at Bieber the way he was trying to get at Bieber was looking a little predatory. And then Usher came in and discovered it and managed him and got custody of him and promised to look after him. And then he sent him to the diddler. Does that sound like a good...
But what terrible things did Usher do to Justin that he's now ready to confess? It all traces back to October 2008. Music executive L.A. Reid, recounts in his memoir the day Usher walked into his office with a 14-year-old kid named Justin Bieber. Usher described Bieber as a gift, highlighting his voice, his look, and a natural charisma that couldn't be taught. While it was Scooter Braun who first discovered Bieber on YouTube when he was just 12, it was Usher who formally introduced him to Reed at Island Records. Reed was so impressed he signed Bieber the very next day, even predicting that Bieber's signature hairstyle would become as iconic as his music. And it was through that very introduction, thanks to Usher, that Diddy first got access to an underaged and vulnerable Justin Bieber
to my office at 14 years old.
Just by himself or with his parents?
With his mother. Usher comes in and he starts to perform for me. And he drops down on one knee and he starts singing this song called End of the Road, a song that Babyface and I had produced for Boyz II Men. It was a really big hit. He starts singing the song, and like that, I was like, oh my God. Two things happened. One is a star was born, and two, I really knew what my calling was that day. I was like, now I know what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to do this. I'm supposed to find guys like Usher, because it was the greatest feeling in the world.
Did you record him early?
And I recorded him at 14, and all of his career. And he's had some career. Here's the beauty. The best pay it forward story of all time. I signed Usher at 14. He brings Justin Bieber to my office. Justin is 14. And I signed Justin also, right? And so that was it was a beautiful thing.
Fame came quickly for Bieber because of a chance meeting with hip-hop heavyweight Usher.
I'ma tell you one time.
Like Justin, Usher was a teen idol. Now he's a megawatt superstar and producer. He co-produced the 15-year-old's debut single.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing to you Island Def Jam recording artist Justin Bieber. It's getting ready to go down. Just so you know, we're in the studio right now working on it. Get ready because it's gonna be big. Ain't that right, Justin?
That's right.
That's right. So look out. We're coming.
Atlanta is hip-hop central. That's where Usher's co-producer Scooter Braun lives and where he first discovered Justin. 3 years ago, he was looking for new talent on the internet when he accidentally came across Justin singing on YouTube. It was a life-changing moment for both Justin and Scooter.
You pulled up into a parking lot and Usher was there?
Yeah, it was a studio parking lot. Usher just pulls up in his Range Rover, and I'm like, wow, that's Usher. Wow, that's a Range Rover. I'd never seen any of them. So I ran up to Usher. I was like, Usher, I love your songs. Can I sing you one? And he was like, oh, well, let's just go inside, little buddy. It's cold out. So I didn't get to sing for him. I was really disappointed. And then we get a call a week later saying that Usher saw my videos on YouTube and wants to fly me back to Atlanta to have a meeting. We finally got in contact. This guy contacted us named Scooter, who's my manager now, and basically stalked us a little bit, kind of got in contact with us, and finally my mom was calling him back to, say, listen, stop calling me. And he was like, I really see a lot in your son. I can help you guys. And my mom was really skeptical at first, but they ended up talking for a couple of hours, and he knew some lawyers that we could talk to and stuff. So we ended up flying to Atlanta free of charge, just for him to, check us out and get to know us. And
This is Scooter.
Yes,
yeah.
This is Scooter. And we ended up signing a deal with Usher a couple months. That there are so many kid stars that have fallen down the wrong path and that have been just done the wrong thing, because this is a hard business and people just lose themselves.
When this record came out, so many kids in America were wearing their hair like that. Every boy. As a matter of fact, when we did the X Factor, we must have had 10 kids come on with their hair like that, hoping that they'd get picked.
Then came November 2009. Justin Bieber was just 15, and his single One Time was climbing the charts. In a now viral video, one most of us have seen countless times, Bieber and Diddy walk up to the camera inside Puffy's mansion. Smiling, Justin announces to the viewers that he's spending 48 hours with Diddy. No parents, no label executives. Just a teenage boy and the man who once mentored Usher.
Wherever you want to go. Where are we going?
So check this out, yo. Justin, you ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. You know, I have been given custody of him. You know, he signed to Usher.
I'm signed to Usher.
I had legal guardianship of Usher when you know he did his first album. I did Usher's first album. I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. So and we gonna go full crazy.
I'm going crazy.
Crazy.
I'm taking this out tonight.
What you want to do? What you want to do over the next 48 hours?
48 hours. Let's go. Let's just go get some girls. Let's go hang out some girls.
Yeah, Rob. Yeah. No, I mean, he's. I mean, to a lot of us, he's like a little brother. You know what I'm saying? He's not afraid to call and ask for advice. He's somebody that, in the industry-wise, the record industry is a strong family, and he's somebody that, you know, we definitely have our arms around, and we want to protect him because he's such genuinely a nice person. Besides his talent, you know what I'm saying? He's one of the greatest kids that you could ever know. Justin, you.
You know, Diddy bought his son a Bentley. Maybe, you know, he could buy you one also while you're out.
Got me a Lamborghini.
Oh, well, that's nice.
I haven't gotten it yet, though.
Yeah, I know. When is that coming, that Lamborghini? We talked about this last time.
He had the Lamborghini for a day or two, and he had access to the house, and he knows better than to be talking about the things that he does with Big Brother Puff on national television.
I definitely feel protective of her. It was hard for me being that young and being in the industry and not knowing where to turn, and everyone, you know, telling me they love me and, you know, just turn their back on you in a second. So yeah, it's hard because I want her to know that, you know, she can count on me, but at the end of the day, I'm never going to force myself to be in a relationship with her. It has to be natural, right? So I just kind of, you know, let her do her thing, and if she ever needs me, I'm going to be here for her. But yeah, just protecting those moments because people take for granted encounters. And
Diddy's parties were far from ordinary. Prosecutors described them as freak-offs. Video recorded orgies where, according to court filings, victims were sometimes coerced or trafficked across state lines. When federal agents raided Diddy's homes, they seized hundreds of tapes, along with thousands of bottles of baby oil, lube, and sex toys. The way it worked was chilling. After the official after-party ended and the celebrities had left, the real event, the freak-off, would begin. No stars, no flashing cameras, just Diddy and a very different, shadowy group of participants.
We're going to get into these shocking details surrounding these freak-offs. And I guess we should start with saying, what are freak-offs, right? Well, let's go to the indictment. It says, quote, Combs and other members and associates of the Combs enterprise wielded the power and prestige of Combs' role at the Combs business to intimidate, threaten, and lure female victims into Combs' orbit, often under the pretense of a romantic relationship. Combs then used force, threats of force, and coercion to cause victims to engage in extended sex acts with male commercial sex workers that Combs referred to as, among other things, freak-offs. Freak-offs were elaborate and produced sex performances that Combs arranged, directed, pleasured himself during, and often electronically recorded.
Oh man, you got some visitors, dog.
So we're seeing that large presence.
New video, Diddy slowly pacing outside Miami's private jet facility at 3 p.m. yesterday via TMZ as Homeland Security raided mansions on both coasts from his $35 million waterfront estate in Florida to Beverly Hills.
I'm outside Diddy's $40 million pad. It's quiet now, but yesterday, media, SWAT vehicles, dozens of armed officials and investigators descended on the property, seizing boxes of evidence and putting his sons Christian and Justin in handcuffs. They were reportedly detained and released. So what does this raid mean for Diddy and any evidence against him?
Law enforcement had enough to get the search warrant. They maybe even have enough to get an indictment. And if so, I expect Diddy to be arrested in a matter of days.
If any of those tapes show Justin Bieber, even just in the background, the fallout would be devastating. Diddy's lawyers maintain that everything was consensual and above board, but that defense crumbles if a minor appears on camera. And if Usher admits he placed a 15-year-old Bieber under Diddy's roof, he could face serious questions about negligence, or even worse, That's why Jaguar Wright's allegation hit so hard. It implies Usher knew the dangers and still chose to hand Justin over.
The guy in the tape is white?
If he's bigger than Diddy, and he's not none of the names that I said, probably so. But then they say he was young too.
Yeah, they say he was young.
Let me get his name right. I hope it ain't the Bieber. I hope it's not the Bieber. And they're gonna have to bring that to forefront because the prosecutor's gonna want those tapes. And they're gonna do whatever they have to do legally to get those tapes. No ifs, ands, and buts about it. So we just better hope for his sake, that that's just a bunch of bull crap. But then there's lawyers out there saying, yeah, the tape does exist. Lawyers got on television to say the tapes exist. I don't really know or trust that, because they was trying to say he had a tape with one of the bodyguards and this lady that came out. So
time you met Justin Bieber, this kid comes up to you. He's not Justin Bieber yet. He's just some kid. And he says, I want to sing for you.
It was at the studio of Jermaine Dupri's. I said, why don't you set up a meeting between me and your manager? I'd love to meet with you and do this in a formal setting. I'm late for an appointment with Jermaine Dupri.
Right.
And I don't want to keep him waiting. Let's just do this the right way.
And then you have him come to audition for you, right?
Actually, there were a few people. My wife at the time.
Right.
It also was Perry Reed, L.A. Reid's first wife.
You were all sitting in a room somewhere.
We were in a room.
Yeah.
And I showed her the video. And Perry says, are you crazy? You better get down there and meet this kid right now. He's a...
So why would Usher hand Bieber over in the first place? Some insiders say he felt he owed a debt. After all, it was Diddy who convinced L.A. Reid not to drop Bieber when his voice changed. In 2010, as Bieber's voice began to deepen, his early career almost collapsed. Reid was ready to cut ties, but Diddy urged him to hold on, to get Bieber a vocal coach and give him time to adjust. That advice saved Bieber's contract and, ultimately, his career. It's now part of the legend that ties all three men together. History makes Wright's allegation even more complicated. Without a tape or a sworn statement from Usher or Bieber, it all stays in the realm of rumor. But a lot of pieces seem to fit. Usher's own words about mentoring Bieber, Diddy's public boasts about teenage sleepovers, Wright's explosive TikTok claims, and a mountain of legal documents detailing Diddy's alleged crimes.
Reed, how are you, sir?
How you doing, man?
Good to see you, brother.
Good to see you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
This is a culmination of a lot of work. I know from behind the scenes, this man signed Justin once Usher brought him along to him, and you made the right decision, clearly.
Yeah, looks like it, right? I don't know if I make great decisions every day, but that day, I must have been in a great mood.
Take us to that meeting, that first time when you saw Justin in your office and he sung for you.
Well, he walked in with Usher. Usher called and said, I have something really special for you. I have a gift for you. And he brought Justin in. Justin had a guitar. He played the piano. He sang for me, and I thought it was amazing, and it was a no-brainer. It really was, right?
Yeah, it seems like, what's ironic is the fact that most record labels passed on him the first go-around.
See, no one told me that. They were very smart not to tell me that, because if I didn't know, if I knew that we weren't first, I wouldn't have signed them.
Interesting. Isn't that funny how the record business is?
Yeah.
What's up, guys? This is Justin Bieber. Hey, what's up, guys? This is Justin Bieber here.
Hey, guys, I'm Justin Bieber. Wait, you guys are on my page, you know who I am.
So I just wanted to thank you guys so much for all your support. You've been truly amazing. I wouldn't be in this position without you. I just wanted to say thank you to everybody for all the support. You guys have been, amazing.
So I want to thank all my British fans for all your support. You guys are amazing.
Yeah, man.